And hello, everybody. John Henderson Pierre, Beer and TV Ramble, looking at Steel Reserve Triple Export. It's been a review of this. Of course, my good friend Ronald J. Terrio has reviewed this. 8.1% ABV by volume, similar to the other Steel Reserve. Of course, you have the 6.1 variant Steel Reserve that are out there, but mostly the 6 and the 8 are pretty much common. In terms of the Steel Reserve line by Miller, um, you have their other lines of fruity flavored, yeah, fruity flavored malts, which I've tried one and I had to completely just trash. It was just ugh. But I guess they're trying to compete with the Bud Light Limeritas and whatnot with Dos Equis flavored, those flavored, the flavored margaritas, those styles. But um, no, that's not working. But anyhow, the triple export, um, again, similar volume of liquor, ABV by volume as the Steel Reserve 211, 8.1. So this is 8.1. Slow brewed in limited batches using only malt barley, the finest, the finest malt barley and select hops. We believe this is to be among the very best beers in the world. I had this before. People have reviewed it. I had this left in the freezer last night, and I took it out early. Took it out this morning. I mean, had in the freezer all day yesterday, up until when I got home, and then took it out before I went to bed and left it in the refrigerator so it can somewhat thaw. And I guess it has now. So still a little groggy. I'm probably gonna go back to bed and wake up until my team plays the Cowboys this afternoon. So a little sandwich. Mm. Already smell some of the barley. A lot of sweetness. Very strong. Let's see, look at my glass here. Any lacing. Very little, if any of that, but let's try it. You really feel the punch of the alcohol immediately, even though the alcohol is the same as the original Steel 211. Triple Export, you really feel it immediately, like that. Wow, immediately right away. Mm. Mm. It is very smooth. Man, I think puts a punch on it. The Steel line came out in 2000, I believe 2001. I believe it's one of those years, 2000 or 2001. Of course, the name of the company was the Steel Brewing Company. Um, and Miller, of course, Miller went ahead and bought the company at the time, and I believe it was 2003 or 4. Again, I may got the years wrong, but they put under their line Miller. I mean, you have the other companies, OE, of course. Old English 800, Miller, as I mentioned. I mean, part of the Miller line, their brewery. Um, when they first bought out Miller, again they have Old English Steel, Ice House Edge, another malt liquor. Um, this company's not ashamed to talk about malt liquors whatsoever. Same with the Paps when they bought the St. Ives beers, Colt 45, Gene Heileman, the Schlitz malt liquor lines as well. They're not ashamed to talk about malt liquors, and actually they really praise it. And I don't know if they're plant at their breweries in Wisconsin or anywhere. Do they, if you're allowed to do tours? The Milwaukee one, the one at their main headquarters in Milwaukee, yes, but I'm not sure about their other breweries that makes this that you can do a tour. But I'm sure they really promote these beers very heavily. I'm not ashamed to say what this is what they do. We promote this, we talk about it, and we're not ashamed of it. Both companies, Pabst as well as this. Anheuser-Busch InBev, unfortunately, they don't want to talk about King Cobra or Hurricane or Spikes or anything. They're just like, yeah, yeah, I don't know anything about. Yeah, we brew that, but let's talk about Bud Light. But not. It's like I said, it's a very quiet taste for a lot of people. We don't get this the triple export here in Alabama. If we do, then I don't know about it, but I know in the areas I've driven in Alabama, and I've gone across the bay. I'm going up to around Daphne in that area. I've been around, um, going up to Sims. Even if I go further up north, like near Birmingham, or even in around that area, I haven't, or Montgomery. Um, As farther up north I've gone, I'm going to be upfront honest. I've been to Birmingham, I've been to Montgomery several times, and I don't see the triple export. I got this in Mississippi, where it's pretty much common to find this beer, and as well as the OE high gravity I tend to get. But um, these beers, as I said before in my other videos, I mean, these are once in a while beers. These are not everyday beers to have. Again, excuse me, super cold is the way to go with all of these. The triple export, the high gravities, Hurricane or OE or high gravity, Steel Reserve, of course, Ice House Edge. Those high gravity brews are the one you have those super frozen. Now the other beers like OE Original, which is 6%, Colt 45, you know, they can be cold. I mean, obviously you want them cold, but they don't have to be super ice cold like compared to the high gravity ones. Uh, Even though their beers are because the other ones are more 6%. So about range about 6%. Colt 45 6%, OE 6%, St. Ives is 6%, Mickey's is 5.6. St. Ives. Schlitz OML is about 5.9%. Natty Daddy the same. Those beers are lower. Not overly. Um, you can have them, cold, not super cold, but cold. So, like I said, this again with these beers, you pair it well with anything. Wings, pizza. I just had a sandwich just now. Probably not the best pairing, but I said I was going to do a review of this. But yeah, but something like that would be awesome. Hot wings, nice pizza. Something really Really gonna balance the flavors and spice. So um, again, I'm gonna. It's very smooth tasting. I said, well, lay on your ass. Well, I will say definitely say this. I don't plan on going anywhere today, really. It's been a long work week, just a long work week, but surprising we had the weekend off, which is kind of surprising for this time of month of knowing that we'd be doing a lot of events. But oh well, maybe people waiting until November to do some of their stuff, their fall festivals. So, but in any event, I'm gonna give this triple export. I'm gonna give this an 8. Again, I don't drink this a lot. I don't buy this a lot. Um, I'm kind of slowly weaning myself from all the high gravity stuff. I'm keeping staying to the 5 and the 5 or the 5% beers, and between the 4 or 5% beers, I'm kind of sticking at um, myself. I just think that these are, again, this is like a holiday special occasion. You're about to ring in the new year. You're home. You're gonna be with your lady. Say, hey, smoking a cigar, and I've said, I feel like having a still reserve right now, and you know what? I'm gonna sit my butt at home and I'm gonna chill and just relax. You know, um, so that's my view of it. Anyhow, leave your comments on the bottom. Tell me what you think about Steel Reserve Triple Export. If you've had this before, leave your thoughts. Bam, down there. Sean Anderson Pierre, Beer and TV Rhyme, telling you to keep watching, and as always, cheers.